In the last 10 years, at least 140 people have died in San Diego County jails. Joining us right now, Sheriff Bill Gore, to talk more about this. Sheriff, good morning.
Morning, Ralph.
Thanks for being here. Okay, more jail deaths here in San Diego County than most others around the state. Explain why that is.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think we have to put it in perspective. I appreciate the articles and the fact that they're focusing light on something that sheriffs all over the state of California are dealing with, really all over the nation. We are the mental health care providers I'm the largest one in San Diego, right, and they are usually in their other counties. And to put that 140 number in perspective, the UT continually talks about an average daily population. I think they say 5,200. Now we're running about 6,000. But during the course of that 10 years, we put almost 900,000 inmates through our jails. 900,000. So 140, one death is too many. Of course. We don't want anybody. That's our primary focus is to create a safe and clean environment for our inmates and try to add value to their lives so when they go out, sure, they're productive members of our community again. So one death is too many. But I think we have to put that number in perspective. And what I do take exception to is in their statistical analysis, the methodology used I don't think is as good as it could be. And we've told them this. We commissioned a PhD statistician from San Diego State University, very highly respected, Dr. Colleen Kelly, who looked at our death rates in our jails, our suicide rates, and compared them, I think, on a more comparable way with other counties of comparable size. And although looking at the average daily population in jails is an adequate way to do comparisons, it doesn't tell the full story. What's unique about San Diego, the big factor in my mind, is we don't have any city jails. All the other counties, whether it's Orange County with Anaheim, Anaheim, Santa Ana, they have city jails. City of LA, LAPD has 10, I think, jails. So when people are booked in those particular cities, they don't go right to a county jail. They go to a city jail and spend their first 1 to 4 days, which is a very high risk time in anybody's for dying of drug overdoses, from being on drugs or secreting drugs prior to their arrest that they didn't want to be caught with, or that suicide that we're trying to prevent. So a lot of those
here,
people,
they're going straight into the county jail.
Everybody comes to our county jail. And when you compare numbers that take in city jails and county jails and compare them with, we're favorable. You can go to Open Justice, which is a California Department of Justice website, and look at the total numbers. Some years were a little higher, some years were lower, but it's comparable. So I think we're getting an unfair comparison. Plus, that calculation doesn't take into account the demographics of our jails. San Diego has the highest Caucasian population of any major jail that they're comparing us with. And we know that Caucasians are 6 times more likely to commit suicide than African Americans, and 3 times more likely to commit suicide than Hispanics. So there's all these factors. It's a very complex issue. We're working very hard.
It's not a simple thing, obviously, to point a finger and say this is happening.
And that's what bothers me. I appreciate the fact they're highlighting the issues that jailers all over the country and the state are dealing with, but I take exception to us being pointed out as the worst because I know we're not.
Despite all that, you guys have still put policies in place over the last 10 years to try to put a stop to that, to try to slow down that pattern. And then
last year, 2018, we had one. Sure. So, but when you figure in the big number and keep throwing that number out, it's deceiving. So we're improving our capabilities. We've trained all of our deputies in psychiatric or emergency response training. We've brought a national respected Dr. Lindsay in to look at suicide practices. We've implemented his recommendations, and we brought in the National Commission on Correctional Health Care. They've done a survey, they've done a review of our jails, and we hope to have accreditation by next year from the National Commission, which will only be the 2nd county of the major counties in California to have that accreditation. So we're constantly working to improve the quality of care that we give our inmates when they come in.
It's fascinating to me whenever you mention and remind everybody that you guys provide the most mental health care of anybody in the county, which is shocking that people have to get into the prison system to get that.
I have 6,000, and they always compare. It's a great comparison, I think, when you look at a state prison system as opposed to a county jail. That's a stable population. We have about the same number of inmates that Donovan has, R.J. Donovan, state prison. I think they have 3,500, let's say we have 5,000. That's a very stable population. They've been to the system, they've been sentenced, they're there. They're acclimatized to the prison environment, if you will, and you don't see them overdosing or committing suicide like you do with people that are in the initial processes of going through a county jail like the inmates we have. So a comparison between state prisons and county jails is completely inappropriate.
Got it. Yeah. Sheriff Bill Gore, we thank you as always.
Thanks, Ralph. Thanks for having me on. And we're going to keep working to make these jails as safe as we can possibly make it. But it's a very high-risk population that we're serving.
You got it. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.